Hey everyone, and welcome to Sexual Abuse and Sexual Violence Awareness Week 2017, and this is episode 4 in the series. And the topic we are going to discuss today is that men cannot be raped. Let's jump straight into the reasons why people think that. Reason number 1, men are not weak or vulnerable. Men are strong. Men can always fight back. Reason number 2, men always want sex. What kind of man exists who does not want sex? Third, if men even do go through some kind of assault, they move on quickly and do not suffer at all. But statistics tell us a completely different story. There are male-on-male rapes and there are female-on-male rapes. I won't go into the details of the statistics here because even one rape is one too many, but let's just say we talk about the number of children abused in India every single day, which is 57%. Now, out of this 57%, more than half are male children. Therefore, the idea that males cannot be raped or are not being raped is absolutely ridiculous. So you may want to know, when and why do men get raped? So the first reason is in prisons, when someone wants to take revenge with them, or they want to shame them, dominate them, and tell them you are lower than us. Reason number 2, as I just mentioned, as children raped by other male members of the family. Number 3, by female teachers or other kinds of females in their lives. And so the list goes on and on. There can be anyone who could force a man to get involved into sexual activity without their consent. And as they would say, don't worry, boys are supposed to like this. So let me jump straight into the misconceptions. The first one about males are not weak or vulnerable. Remember that line from that Hindi movie, Mard ko dard nahi hota, which means a man cannot ever feel pain or cry. This is called the masculine gender socialization, where we spread this idea that no man ever feels pain and no man can ever be vulnerable to something, especially as rape. And when a man is not living up to that expectations of our society, we call him unmanly or weak or girly. But when we talk about specifically rape and sexual assault, we forget that the young boys or whoever in whatever age is being raped is obviously weaker and vulnerable to perpetrators who are usually stronger. Sometimes this person would use force, sometimes this person would use money or bribes, or they would shame them or lie to them, whatever it may be. The male victim may be fearful to fight back and therefore be just as vulnerable as a female victim in this case. The second reason, or the second misconception, basically, males always want sex. Roy J. Levin and Willie Van Berlo wrote in an article in the Journal of Clinical Forensic Medicine about this in a lot of detail, explaining that much like the female erectile response, the male erectile response is involuntary, which means even if on the surface a male organ is seen as being turned on or erect, as the doctors would say, that does not always mean consent. It could simply be because of fear and intimidation. Misconception number 3 is that males are a lot less traumatized, or they do not suffer through the consequences of rape that a female suffers through. But that's absolutely ridiculous, because Frazier confirmed that the depression and hostility in male victims are much more profound post-rape than female victims. And it's also noted by Eugen and Richardson that male victims tend to feel a lot more intense anger than female victims, while both of them go through similar feelings of distress after rape. Another scientist, Carpenter, citing Maisie, says that the male coping strategy characterized by denial and control renders them more prone to later psychiatric problems and reduces the likelihood of seeking help. So you may ask, if this really happens with men, how do they cope or what do they do? Well, the first thing that I want to quote here is the suicide rate for sexually abused males is 14 to 15 times higher than for any other category of males. So you can see that it's not easy for a man to digest rape and forget about it. Other than that, men who have been raped or sexually assaulted before the age of 18 have a much greater risk of mental health problems, which include symptoms like PTSD and depression, which happens in females as well, plus alcoholism, drug abuse, suicidal thoughts that I just mentioned, a lot of problems in intimate relationships, and underachievement in school, at work. Speaking specifically of India, there is a huge loophole in the legal system because Section 375 of the Indian Penal Code does not include males as rape victim. So obviously we need to upgrade the law, but the law is not going to be any helpful if we are not encouraging the victims to come out. If we do not change this mindset that men cannot be raped, men are always going to be into the spiral of thinking they are inadequate. And a rape can have a huge impact on a man, which can lead to pressure to prove his manhood physically and sexually, and behaving dangerously or in violent behavior, being confused over their own sexual identity or gender, or a sense of being an inadequate man, sense of lost power, control, and confidence to his manhood, problems with females with closeness and intimacy, sexual problems, fear of being homosexual or gay, or straight up homophobia. So there's a lot that men go through as victims as well, and it's high time we need to realize that and change not just our law but our mindset as well. This is it for today's video, and I'll catch you up tomorrow with another one. Please like, share, and subscribe, and spread this message as far as possible, because one step in the right direction can save someone's life. Take care. Bye-bye.